Thank you for staying with me on TMI Tuesday, and still on the topic Edo 2020 fears and facts. I've been joined by a political analyst, Idris Zekari. Thanks for coming, Idris.
Thank you, presenter.
Now, let's go straight to the issues about the seeming divide within the All Progressive Congress. And there's this whole idea about raising a consensus candidate that would slug it out with the governor on the primaries. But do you see that as what would pull through, or what could worsen the predicament of the party?
Well, first of all, I think the seeming divide, as you have said, is unnecessary. You know, politics across, both here and elsewhere, is when you have people coming in, they are to add value to the system. So anybody, any governor, any leader who has performed ought not to be afraid of having people in his party. So we having to debate whether people coming in and then whether the primaries consensus candidate is first of all a debate that ought not to be. In the kind of democracy that we want to see in Nigeria is the democracy where people are able to participate in the process, a free and fair process. We are talking of internal party democracy. So when people come in, and anybody has the right to aspire to be governor. I can aspire to be governor. The governor has the right to aspire to be governor. So what the party ought to have done is to say, okay, these are the templates. You, all of us, let you all go to the field. Talk to the party leaders, talk to the party members, and let them vote you based on your relationship with the party, because Nigeria today is a party democracy, a multi-party democracy. There is no independent candidature yet. So you have to reach out to your party, make sure that your party is on the same page with you. And if your party is on the same page with you, you will not have any issues winning the primaries. Now, there are three different ways to conduct party primaries. There is the direct primaries, there is the indirect primary, and there is the consensus candidate. The most, should I put it, the most undemocratic of them all is the consensus candidacy. Let people go out there and contest primaries, direct primaries, indirect primaries. There's no room for consensus.
Okay, but it has been that way conventionally in political parties, that even when the governor of the state has the right, as he has, to go for a second term, and he is given that second term ticket without necessarily having squabbles over the primary election. What makes this different?
Now, you getting the party ticket is not an award. You have to merit it. And when I say you have to merit it by your work, by your conduct. And then, you know, the dynamics of it all is that you must first of all make your party happy before they can give you the ticket. You are the governor of a state. Your people have to be happy for you to win an election. But your party needs to be happy for you to win the party ticket. So it's not an award that somebody will come and present to you. Or even President Muhammadu Buhari in the last presidential election subjected himself to primaries. Even in the PDP, they subjected themselves to primaries. This whole idea that nobody has the right to contest because you are in office is anti-democratic.
Is that what it shows, Greg Ogwugwa?
Well, you know, at times when I hear people talk about democracy and speak about it so finally, and he says it's anti-democratic, what example is he going to use? What example will you use to say this is the democratic practice, and that what, for example, consensus is undemocratic? Because if it is the United States, upon which our constitution is modeled, after which our constitution is modeled, they have consensus. If it is the United Kingdom, it's even much more glaring. They don't even have general elections to choose their prime ministers in a lot of cases. In every democracy, there is not only the rule of law constitutionally, there is convention, there is practice. Even in the courts of law, there is practice. So when you say that you write off a major plank of choice as undemocratic, I don't see what basis. There's no basis in history, there's no basis in political philosophy, there's no basis in ideology for that whatsoever.
Okay.
So that is having said so. Now, the issues of, in our last segment, I talked about about why you are seeing a mad rush now, as opposed to allowing the ticket go the way it should normally go, which is the governor has the right of first refusal. And because we have also had a convention in Edo State, since Bendel State, of always giving the governor a second term if he has performed. And now, there is nothing to show. There's no, in all the opposition against Governor Godwin Obaseki, there's no way to say that he has not performed. He has not kept to the indices. He has not kept to the social contract, which he established that he was going he established with the people when he was campaigning. All you are looking at is a mad scam, and that's how come that's why I pointed out to you that you see that it's only all the aspirants are from Edo South, and most of them come from the same local government. It's all from Edo South. Why are Edo Central people not in the race? Why are Edo North people not in the race? It is the convention of power rotation, the convention of rotation and zoning. That's why it is. You heard when my brother Larry Ogiva said they, especially from Edo South in the PDP, had decided that the governorship candidate in the PDP was going to Edo South. Now, how do you think the people in Edo Central, who also have been waiting patiently for the governorship, how do you think they feel? Do you think does it make sense to them now to vote for another Edo South man that will stay there for 8 years? The obvious choice to anybody the obvious political choice, the obvious logical choice is that Governor Godwin Obaseki, apart from the fact that he has performed creditably well and taken Edo State to a different level, is also the logically best candidate at the next election. Also, there is nothing that you want to say about this administration in terms of its performance that does not give the governor an automatic right, an automatic ticket, and the automatic consensus.
Okay, thank you. I'll come back to you. Zachary, there's this popular opinion heard that the governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, has performed, and that the reason why all of these issues are coming up from the order divide is because they were not allowed by the governor to feast on the common patrimony of the people.
Well, first of all, as a way of discountenancing the British model, my elder brother here raised, the British is a constitutional monarchy. They have a monarchical system of government. The Queen is the head of the British government.
But it's not constitutional.
Now, the Parliament, House of Lords, House of Commons, that's where they pick their prime ministers. So let's not go into the details. That's a discourse for another day. Then the question, just to add a little bit, just to pick a little more from him about performance, convention. I think he is trying to rewrite the constitution and rewrite both constitution of the party, his party. I'm not a party member. His party, the APC, is trying to rewrite the constitution. He's trying to rewrite the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, there is nowhere it is written, both in party constitution and in the national constitution, that because you have been governor, you must get the ticket.
Okay, but back to the question again.
Back to the question.
Is it not a popular opinion that the governor has performed, and based on the fact that they want to be...
There is a popular word in town,
okay,
or should I call it a phrase, audio project, audio government. You know, we are here now, we are on air. Everybody can see us at home. Because we have video, you can see. But when it's audio, you can only hear. And that is why you need a lot of English, a lot of verbose, a lot of good communication to be able to sell the Godwin Obaseki project and his so-called popularity and his so-called performance. Look, things speak for themselves. Good things are not hard to sell. So, I quite understand this position. As a government person, you have to always paint the good government in good light. But that's not the truth. Look, the performance of the governor is a story for another day. Recently I traveled to Edo North. I'm from Edo North. I could not point to a significant project in the entire Auchi kingdom that you can say is a direct work of the governor.
From Agbede?
No, I'm talking about Auchi. Auchi is not Agbede. Agbede is...
it's the same local government?
No, I'm talking of Auchi kingdom.
Same local government.
Now, I can't point to a single project.
I'll tell you one now.
He can tell me now and say, the road linking Egeleso to Eyeki was constructed by Governor Godwin Obaseki.
Okay, but again, let's get it right. Is it all about the projects or about not being allowed to feast on a common patrimony.
Like it's out there. A lot of persons have said it. I am interested as a political activist. If people have asked you to share government money, call their names. Let us take placards to their house and ask them, gentlemen, government money is not your money. Government money is government money. Nobody will give you government money. And as governor, he has immunity. Call them out. Nobody can charge you for blackmail or for what they call this a legal term for giving me a bad name, for slander. No. You call them and say, Mr. XYZ is asking for government money. I will say, Mr. XYZ, don't give them government. And, you know, I congratulate him. He said they wanted government money. He's not giving in. Now, you have not given in for them having government money. How about the government money that you have successfully kept? How have you utilized it to the betterment of Edo people? How have you utilized it? Are there new schools? The answer is no. There are no new schools have been constructed in Edo State in the past 3 years. I stand to be corrected.
You're very wrong.
Yes. Are there new? Well, look, even the Tayo Akpata University, for example, in Ikeadolo, Tayo Akpata University of Education in Ikeadolo, the government could not start it up as what it is, and then they have now given it to the federal government to revert it back as a federal college of education. Now, Edo North has a state university, Edo University Yamo. It was built by Comrade Adams Oshomole, who happens to be a governor from Edo North. Edo Central has a state university, Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, which was built by the late Ambrose Ali, who happens to be a governor from Ekpoma. Edo Central, Edo South deserves a university because now they have an Edo South governor. So we need universities cannot be too much.
Okay, thank you, Zachary. I think let's have your reactions over that as we round off.
I can't believe that kind of statement. Look, the reason that they built universities in Edo Central and in Edo North was because all the other universities were in Edo South. Do you know how many universities there are in Edo South? There's one, I think it's Life Fort or something, down Airport Road. There's the University of Benin. There's the Tayo Akpata University. There's the College of, the University of Agriculture, and so on and so forth. The reason that they built a university...
There's no University of Agriculture in Edo South. The College of Agriculture in
It's a University of Agriculture. It has a campus in Agenegode and another one, I think, in Agbede. Now, the reason that they built those universities in Edo Central and Edo North was because there was already a concentration in Edo South. It doesn't make sense. It's like saying that, the last administration built Airport Road. Therefore, this new administration should come in, rip up the old Airport Road and rebuild it to show that they are building it. You see, one thing that people do not understand is that there's a difference between physical infrastructure and mental infrastructure. If the previous administration has built the schools, the next administration then builds upon the schools by training the teachers, which Edo State has gotten awards across the country and across, even from the World Bank. Awards from the World Bank for the most excellent education system in Nigeria. Governor Sanwo-Olu, just a few days ago, was crediting Edo State and saying he was going to copy Edo State. Now, our health system has just been, and our method of combating the pandemic has just been adopted by the entire federal government. And then you will say that, and then you say that there was nothing done. The teachers are being paid as at when due. Civil servants receive their salaries as at when due. Pensioners get paid as at when due. You understand?
Okay.
These are major things when the economy, especially when the resources are dwindling by more than 50%.
Okay, let's look at the deciding factor in the forthcoming primaries. What do you think should be the deciding factor in your party in order not to have issues?
I don't think that there are any issues because it's pretty straightforward. The people in our party, the generality of the people in the party are not stupid. Whether it will be delegate election, whether it will be direct election, whether it is the stakeholders, we the stakeholders have actually come together and we have decided that we want a consensus candidate in Governor Godwin Obaseki. That's what we want. Now, having said so, the party, there are different members, there are different people in the party. The party has different strains. So of course you will have some people who do not agree. Okay.
Isn't that worrisome that could also be a setback?
No, it's not worrisome. It's a democratic thing. If they decide that they want to break with convention, they can feel free to do so. But there are consequences for doing so. and they will meet those consequences. There are political consequences for doing so. So whether the primaries are direct, indirect, or whether the governor emerges as a consensus candidate, we are absolutely prepared because the people know. And even the party members, because my brother was talking about that, first of all, there's the elections, and that first, the primaries, the party must accept you before the general public accepts you. But the parties are aware that if you choose an unpopular candidate, or if you do not choose a candidate that they want, they will reject you at the general polls.
Okay.
So we know very well that Godwin Obaseki is very, very well accepted by the people. The facts speak for themselves. You don't even have to take my word for it, because he said, because I'm with government, I'm on the government side, so I will always say things about government that are positive. Governor Sanwo-Olu is not from Edo State. The World Bank is not from Edo State. The National Union of Teachers is not from Edo State. And all these people have adjudged Edo State the best in different categories. The federal government is not from Edo State. They've decided that our health system is the best to use to fight this pandemic. So what on earth are we talking about? If we are setting standards for other people to follow, we are setting standards for other people to follow globally, locally, and at federal and national level. And then they say that nothing has happened. Look at our educational system today. Agreed, the previous administration built schools and all that and so on and so forth. But look at Edo Best. Edo Best has won accolades all over the world because of the excellence in their teaching. All the way down to the villages, places where there was no educational facilities were not available before.
Okay, thank you.
They're able to reach there now electronically, way ahead of other states. So it amazes me when people say he has not built one school. How many new teachers? We have over 253,000 students under Edo Best. Just this morning, I was listening to a review of this of the e-learning. Over 700,000 hits on the website already. And a lot of them come from even other people in other states who are trying to copy our method. So anybody, look, you can have political differences, but the facts speak for themselves. Black is black, white is white.
Thank you, Gregory Ogwugwa.
Obaseki has performed, and the second term is of no, is not.
Thank you, Gregory Ogwugwa. We just hope from time to time we will continue to engage you in this discussion. And big thanks, Idris Zekari, for taking our time to be part of the show. Well, this is what we call it a wrap on the discussion segment.